if we ever had a shot at this. Where is the 15% requirement for initiative petitions? It isn't in the charter. State law, Jim. Okay. What are the powers and duties of the CEO under the proposed charter? Do they need to be spelled out more clearly? Is that rhetorical?
I hope not.
I have pulled copies of the charters of every charter city in LA and Orange County, with the exception of City of Industry, because they're such an unusual creation. You find out that in many of the better written charters, ones that were written by commission and with more input, there's often a long list of specific positions that must be filled, and the qualifications for those positions, and exactly what those duties and responsibilities are, and the potential grounds for removing those people. Those positions quite often are city council, a city manager, city attorney, city clerk, city treasurer, the head of the finance department, the head of the planning department, the head of public works, and then if the city's have any utilities, typically there may be a call out for how those need to be managed.
If I may add just a little bit more, the charter says the city CEO shall be the administrative head of the city government. The duties of the city CEO shall be as prescribed by this charter or by ordinance of the city council. The city's ordinances currently contain the duties of the city manager, but there's nothing in the charter. One thing though I think is interesting is the following paragraph talks about the city attorney and some of the qualifications that a person would have to be appointed city attorney. However, there are no qualifications listed for city manager. I think that's interesting.
Okay, thank you. Last question on this one.
I'm going to add just a little something. One of the things that struck me about this charter was that the only officers designated in the charter are the city manager, CEO, and the city attorney. So the city treasurer is not a city officer under this charter, and the city clerk is not a city officer under this charter. I wondered why. The effect of that, it seems to me, would be that they don't have the authority of a city officer. They just are, another city employee at will employment, and that's it. City clerks, the historian and the guardian of all the records, and the city treasurer's got, our money. So I'd like to see that as an independent officer, but it's not in this charter.
All right, as was just read in the charter, the duties of the city manager are not really spelled out. They're saying that they are according to ordinance, and we need to remember that an ordinance under the charter can be changed by the vote of 3 people.
Thank you. Okay. What do you think is the motivation behind the charter section controlling employee contributions, dues, and benefit increases? Michael?
None of us are in the mind reading business. And I have an infant son, and that can be a challenge at times to read his mind, but we're not in the mind, we don't know.
So that would be a good question to ask at the next city council. Okay, explain I can save you the cards. Explain the lawsuit involving City of Vista prevailing wage and the outcome in California, and how the outcome in California Supreme Court might affect the Costa Mesa Charter. That's from Wendy. Eleanor?
What a charter city does is give that city council the power to control whatever is strictly a municipal affair, whatever relates to that city. That's why they call it home rule. But if it's a statewide concern, then we don't have that kind of home rule. Then the state legislature and the governor have the final say on it. So the question pending in the Vista case is whether the payment of prevailing wages in public contracts is a statewide concern. One side says, yes, it is, because it affects a lot of people, it affects the communities they live in, the taxes they pay, and what the state gets and all that sort of thing. And other people are saying, no, it's our money and we should be able to pay whatever the market can get us. And that's the issue. It's been pending for a long time.
Okay, so it's still out there and might become a litigious issue, even here. Okay. Buena Park has